Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Chaitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on December 8th, 2021 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Pangun Langai Tegiri
Mande
Sri Gurum Dhina Tharinam
Paramanandamajavam
Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram
Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om Tat.
Reading from Sadhana Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, Sadhya Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and the result of
The
hearing about
compilation of that Sri Chaitanya book.
Abhideya Sadhana Bhakti Part 2. This is the chapter about Abhideya Sadhana Bhakti. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 22, verse 158. Seva Sadhaka Rupena Siddha Rupena Chatrahi Sadbhava Lipsuna Karya Vaja Lokanu Sarataha. The advanced devotee who is inclined to spontaneous loving service should follow the activities of a particular associate of Krishna's in Vrindavan. He should execute service externally as a regulative devotee as well as internally from his self-realized position. He should perform devotional service both externally and internally. Purport. This verse is also found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.295.
So, if you're the authorized process by Lord Chaitanya of how one can practice spontaneous devotional service.
So this gives the authorized process given by Lord Chaitanya how one can practice spontaneous devotional service. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 159.
রাগানুগ ভক্তের সর্বক্ষণ গুরু বা অনুগত্যের স্বীয় অভীষ্ট সিদ্ধ সেবা নিজ অভীষ্ট কৃষ্ণ পৃষ্ঠ কাছে তো লাগিয়া নিরন্তর সেবা করে অন্তমনা হইয়া.
Actually, the inhabitants of Vrindavan are very dear to Krishna. If one wants to engage in spontaneous loving service, he must follow the inhabitants of Vrindavan and constantly engage in devotional service within his mind.
This is the advanced process of spontaneous loving service.
This is the advanced process of practicing spontaneous devotional service.
And when the attraction to follow either the animals or the servants or the friends or the parents or the lovers of Krishna.
According to your attraction, you may follow either the animals, the servants, the friends, the parents, or the lovers of Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, 160.
নিবৃত্ত অনর্থ রাগানুগ ভক্তের নির্জনে অভীষ্ট স্মরণাদি. ভক্তি রসামৃত সিন্ধু 1-2-293.
Krishnam Smaranam Janam Chasya Preshtam Nija Samihitam Tat Tat Katha Ratas Chasu Kurya Vasam Vraje Sada. The devotee should always think of Krishna within himself and should choose a very dear devotee who is the servitor of Krishna in Vrindavan. One should constantly engage in topics about that servitor and his loving relationship with Krishna, and one should live in Vrindavan. If one is physically unable to go to Vrindavan, he should mentally live there. Purport. This verse is also found in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.294.
From this, we can see that the Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, he could have stayed in Vrindavan.
From this we can see that His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he could have stayed in Vrindavan.
And thus he would have achieved all perfection.
And thus he would have achieved all perfection.
But he wanted to carry out the order of his spiritual master
But he wanted to carry out the order of his spiritual master.
and to see the people in the rest of the world are delivered to Krishna consciousness.
And see that the people in the rest of the world are delivered to Krishna consciousness.
He took the great austerity of crossing the ocean by cargo ship.
So he took the great austerity of crossing the ocean by cargo ship.
And he was suffering heart attacks and various infirmities while crossing.
He was suffering heart attacks and various infirmities while crossing.
But he completely surrendered to Krishna, and Krishna protected him.
But he completely surrendered to Krishna, and Krishna protected him.
As a result, he brought the whole world to Mayapur and Vrindavan.
The result was that he brought the whole world to Mayapur and Vrindavan.
And that at the end of his life, he also spent his time in Vrindavan Dham.
And also at the end of his life, he spent his time in Vrindavan Dham.
While he brought Krishna consciousness all over the world.
While he brought Krishna consciousness all over the world.
And established 108 temples.
And established 108 temples. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 161.
রাগানুগের চারি রসের কৃষ্ণ সেবা শান্ত রসের অবস্থান দাস সখা পত্রাদি প্রেয়সীগণ রাগ মার্গে নিজ নিজ ভাবের গণন.
Krishna has many types of devotees. Some are servants, some are friends, some are parents, and some are conjugal lovers. Devotees who are situated in one of these attitudes of spontaneous love, according to their choice, are considered to be on the path of spontaneous loving service.
On these rasas, or different types, may be attraction for some devotees.
These rasas of various types may be attraction for some devotees.
And they practice the devotional service following the particular rasa.
And they practice devotional service following particular rasa.
As expressed by some confidential devotee.
As expressed by some confidential devotee.
Of the Lord.
Of the Lord.
They will definitely get all perfection.
They will definitely get all perfection. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 162.
রাগানুগ ভক্ত কৃষ্ণ সহ চারি রসে সম্বন্ধযুক্ত অনন্যভাগ এবং কাল ও প্রকৃতির অতীত শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবতে 3:25-38.
Na karhichin mat paraha shanta rupe narakshyanti no me nimisho ledhi etihi yesham aham priya atma sutascha sakha guru suhurdo devam ishtam. My dear mother, Devahuti, O emblem of peace, my weapon, the disc of time, never vanquishes those for whom I am very dear, for whom I am the super soul, son, friend, spiritual master, well-wisher, worshipable deity and desired goal. Since the devotees are always attached to me, they are never vanquished by the agents of time. Purport. This is spoken by Kapila Dev to his mother Devahuti and is recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 38. Kapila Deva instructed his mother in Sankhya Yoga, but the importance of Bhakti Yoga is mentioned here. Later, Sankhya Yoga was imitated by atheists, whose system was founded by a different Kapila Deva.
So, Devahuti Devi, although a woman, because she took complete shelter of Kapila Muni,
So Devahuti Devi, although a woman, but since she took complete shelter of Kapila Muni,
she at the end of life went to the kingdom of God, the spiritual sky.
she went at the end of her life to the kingdom of God, the spiritual sky,
To the planet of Lord Kapila Dev.
to the planet of Lord Kapila Dev. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 163.
রাগানুগ ভক্তগণকে প্রণাম ভক্তি রসামৃত সিন্ধুতে 1-2-307
Pati Putra Suhud Bhratra Pitruvan Mitravad Dharim Ye Dhyayanti Sado Yuktas Tebhyo Piha Namo Namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again to those who always eagerly meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a husband, son, friend, brother, father, or intimate friend. Purport. This verse appears in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, chapter 1-2-308.
Those devotees who meditate on the Lord in this way are very special.
Those devotees who meditate on the Lord in this way are very special.
And they're worthy of offering all respect to.
And they are worthy of offering all respect to. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 164.
অনুক্ষণ গুরু বা অনুগত্যে নির্দিষ্ট অভীষ্ট সেবাতেই রাগানুগ সাধকের সিদ্ধি বা ভাবভক্তি লাভ মতো করে যে বা রাগানুগা ভক্তি কৃষ্ণের চরণে তার উপজয় প্রীতি.
If one engages in spontaneous loving service to the Lord, his affection for the lotus feet of Krishna gradually increases.
So this Raganuga Bhakti or spontaneous devotional service
So this Raganuga Bhakti or spontaneous devotional service
increases one's attraction and attachment for the Lord.
increases one's attraction and attachment for the Lord
Until one reaches the perfection of Krishna Prema.
till one reaches the perfection of Krishna Prema. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 165.
সাধ্য ভাবভক্তি বা রতি বর্ণন কৃষ্ণ প্রেমের অস্পষ্ট অবস্থায় কৃষ্ণ আকর্ষণী ভাবভক্তি বা রতি প্রীতম করে রতি ভাব হয় দুই নাম যা হইতে বসন শ্রী ভগবান.
In the seed of affection, there is attachment which goes by two names, Rati and Bhava. The Supreme Personality of Godhead comes under the control of such attachment. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura comments on this verse. Externally, a devotee performs all the items of devotional service in 9 different ways, beginning with Shravana and Kirtana, and within his mind he always thinks of his eternal relationship with Krishna and follows in the footsteps of the devotees of Vrindavan. If one engages himself in the service of Radha and Krishna in this way, he can transcend the regulative principles enjoined in the Shastras and through his spiritual master fully engage in rendering spontaneous love to Krishna. In this way, he attains affection for the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna actually comes under the control of such spontaneous feelings, and ultimately one can attain association with the Lord.
So, this process of devotional service is a science.
So, this process of devotional service is a science.
How one should achieve spontaneous devotional service
how one should achieve spontaneous devotional service,
how we can have rati or bhava,
how we can have rati or bhava,
which is the ecstatic, loving, spontaneous service for the Lord.
which is the ecstatic, loving, spontaneous service for the Lord.
So people are very attracted by the external material energy.
People are very attracted by the external material energy.
And some people want to merge into the impersonal Brahma Jyoti.
Some people want to merge into the impersonal Brahma Jyoti.
Others want through mystic yoga to have some mystic powers.
Others want through mystic yoga to attain some mystic powers.
But the pure devotee desires to have this pure relationship with Krishna.
But the pure devotee desires to have this pure relationship with Krishna.
And Krishna, reciprocates the loving devotion of that devotee.
And Krishna reciprocates the loving devotion of that devotee.
And not controlled by the field workers, the gyanis, the impersonalists, or the mystic yogis.
He's not controlled by the fruitive workers, the gyanis, the impersonalists, and the mystic yogis.
But someone who serves Krishna and Rati or Bhava, who serves in a loving, spontaneous devotional service.
But when someone is in Rati or Bhava, or when one is in spontaneous, loving devotional service,
then Krishna reciprocates with that devotee's loving devotion.
and Krishna reciprocates with that devotee's loving devotion.
And that's saying that he becomes under the control of that devotee.
And that is said that he comes under the control of that devotee. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 166.
ভাব বা রতির উদয় পর্যন্তই সাধন রূপ অবিধেয়, তা হইতে প্রয়োজন লাভ। যা হইতে পাই কৃষ্ণের প্রেমের সেবন, এই তো কহিলু অবিধেয় বিবরণ।
That by which one can attain loving service to the Lord, I have described in detail as the execution of devotional service called Abhideya.
By executing devotional service as described by Lord Chaitanya,
By executing devotional service as described by Lord Chaitanya,
one is able to achieve the level of the prayojan, the level of pure love of Krishna.
one is able to attain the level of prayojan or the level of pure devotion to Krishna,
Which is also known as prema or pure love.
which is also known as prema or pure love. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 167.
অবিধেয় সাধন ভক্তি সংক্ষেপে বর্ণিত। অবিধেয় সাধন ভক্তি এবে কইল সনাতন, সংক্ষেপে কহিল বিস্তর না যায় বর্ণন।
My dear Sanatan, I have briefly described the process of devotional service in practice, which is the means for obtaining love of Krishna. It cannot be described broadly.
And Krishna, Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu is expressing how
Krishna,
pure devotional service
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expressing how pure devotional service
is so great
is so great
that it's impossible to explain all the possibilities.
that it's impossible to explain all the possibilities.
But basic principles have been expressed here.
But basic principles have been expressed here.
and thus one can follow these and achieve the perfection of life.
And thus one can follow these and attain the perfection of life. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 22, text 168.
সাধন ভক্তি শ্রবণে কৃষ্ণ প্রেম উদয় অবিধেয় সাধন ভক্তি শুনে যেই জন অচিরাদ পায় সেই কৃষ্ণ প্রেম ধন.
Whoever hears this description of the process of practical devotional service very soon attains shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna in love and affection.
As though we see the fruit or result of hearing these instructions of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami.
We see the fruit or result of hearing these instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami.
And one, by hearing this, they will get very easily pure devotion to Lord Krishna.
And by hearing this, they will easily get pure devotional service to Lord Krishna.
And they'll increase in their love and affection for the Supreme Lord.
Thus, they'll increase in their love and perfection for the Supreme Lord. Thus ends the chapter entitled Sadhana Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, Sadhya Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and the result of hearing about Abhideya Sadhana Bhakti under the section, the process of devotional service.
Haribo!
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.